Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat. Or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I'm going to be working on my American Christmas gnome. This is my kit for DP for Veterans, which started yesterday? No, Friday. Gosh, the days are getting away from me. Started Friday. So 2 days. Hopefully you guys are posting progress pics. I haven't got very far yet, so as soon as I've got some to post, I will post mine there as well. And I can't wait to see what everybody's working on. So I'm going to zoom in here to where I'm going to be working, and I will get started. Be right back. All right, let me get my timer started here, get my notes going. I will start. So I want to start with my life update. You guys, life is crazy. It seems like we were waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for stuff to happen. And then all of a sudden things started happening all at once. Biggest things, obviously, we sold the house and we had to have an inspection. And they came back and told us that our roof had hail damage. We needed to get it repaired. Okay. Adjusters came out. They only wanted to pay for half the roof. We said, we think we need a whole roof. Another adjuster came out. He looked at it. I don't know what he said, but the insurance basically came back and said, we'll pay you for 3/4 of your roof. So basically, we're going to cover 3/4 of the roof, which the insurance gave us money for, to have repaired. And then the last piece of the roof, which for whatever reason the insurance did not want to pay for, the buyers are going to pony up the difference so that the contractor could finish the entire roof. So it would all be brand new, which seems like that makes more sense than leaving one section different. Also, because the roof is older, I don't know if they could get shingles to match what was on there, so we might have just had to do that anyway. But it all worked out, so it's all good, and it's all done. The contractor had assured us that it was not going to take him very long to do, but I just thought, man, I don't know if it's going to get done as quickly as he seems to think it is. Obviously, he's the expert, but it just didn't seem like it was going to get done. I mean, he basically assured us they could get it done in a day. Okay. I mean, if that's what you're going to tell us, okay. If it's not, then it's not, whatever. The first day that they came out to work on it, it was super windy. So they showed up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was windy, but it wasn't terrible yet. A difference that my husband noted, and I knew that this was a difference, but one of the things different from here in Canada, these guys were up on the roof, no harnesses, no safety equipment really, just them climbing the ladder and being very sure-footed as they walk around on the roof and replaced it. And they were super fast because I think in 2 hours they had half of the roof, the old roof off, and then in another 2 hours they had that half of the roof replaced. By then it was starting to get pretty windy, so we weren't sure if they were going to be able to come back and finish the next day because it was supposed to be even windier the next day. But the contractor was like, well, we'll see. And they ended up coming out the next day again at 8 o'clock, got everything set up, ripped everything off the other half of the roof that was old, and spent another 2 hours putting on the new stuff, and it looked so good when it was done. The only thing I'm kind of bummed about, I told my husband, was the fact that we're not going to be around for it for very long, so we don't really get to enjoy it much, but that's okay. At least it's done and it's fixed, and now it's not something that we have to worry about because it's all done. And we're done messing with the insurance and all that kind of stuff, so it's all good. That big thing is done. The roof is fixed, so that's a big weight off of our shoulders. I don't remember if I told you guys this or not. Again, apologies. My brain is still Swiss cheese sometimes. We did sell the lot to the people who are buying the house. However, they don't have a mortgage. They just paid cash. And so they want to buy the lot so that no one can build on it. Like I said, I wouldn't have wanted that. But they had to basically withdraw money out of their retirement funds to pay for the house. And I guess they've withdrawn enough that they can't withdraw anymore until after the first of the year. So the sale isn't going to go through on the lot until after the first of the year. However, they did agree that obviously, since it's going to be their lot eventually, that when we move to Canada, rather than us having to worry about finding someone to mow the lot or get rid of snow or whatever, I don't think we would really have had to do snow removal, but certainly we would have had to mow it because the city does have rules about how high grass can get. So they're going to take care of it until they can withdraw the money to finish up that part of the sale. So we're just going to go ahead and make our plans to go ahead and travel to Canada, and they can buy the lot after they can finish getting the money out of their retirement after the first of the year, and we can sign all the paperwork via the internet. We don't have to be there to sign anything. So I might have worried about it falling through and then us heading off to Canada, except for the fact that they're buying the house. So I can understand why they would want to buy the lot. I don't think they're going to back out of that deal. So that's good. So that's a big weight off of our shoulders. And I did want to say a big, huge thank you to all of you for being so understanding and supportive while my life is kind of a giant ball of chaos, because yeah, it's just been a lot over the last several months, and unfortunately I don't think we're quite finished yet, but at least I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're still packing and sorting and all of that good stuff, but the roof is done, the house is sold, the lot is almost sold. I mean, technically it is sold. We just don't have the proceeds for it yet. We've got a contract on it and everything. So essentially it's sold. So that'll be a nice little infusion of cash when it actually sells after the first of the year, which will be good because maybe by then hubby and I will have found something in Canada that we want to buy. I'm still trying to figure out how this is all going to go for me. I've moved a lot in my life, but I've never moved out of the state. I've lived in Kansas my whole life, so I've always been near my family. I think this is going to be an adjustment for me. So I'm just going to play it by ear. And I did have a conversation with my daughter. I would really, really like for her to move up to Canada with us once we get settled. She is resisting that. She doesn't like driving in the snow and bad weather. And she's like, Mom, I already don't like driving in the snow here. There's no way I'm going to want to drive in the snow up there. And I'm like, well, you're probably right, but I'm going to miss her and I just want her to be close. Is that terrible of me? Does that make me one of those helicopter parents? In the last probably 6 months to a year, she just doesn't come over as much as she used to. When she first moved out, we would see her generally once a week because she'd come over and do laundry. And then slowly she started going over to her friend's house to do laundry, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not that I think she has to come over to our house and do laundry, but it was just then I didn't see her as often. And I've gone probably a month or so without physically seeing her, but just knowing that she's 15 minutes away if I want to go see her. I think that's going to be hard, knowing that isn't possible anymore. But I'm trying to remember and look forward to that means hopefully hubby and I can make more trips. I am going to be launching the other channel that I told you guys about. If you missed that, I'm starting a second YouTube channel called Midwest to Maritime. I'll stick a link to it down below. I don't have any videos posted over there yet, but I'm hoping to remedy that and get some content posted over there. And that channel is going to be about how I find life in Canada. How is it different from the US? How is it the same? How am I doing? All that good stuff. I'll still be here, so you guys will still see me here. But so as we continue to get everything ready to move and get out of the house, still packing and sorting, I was really starting to sweat some of the big stuff. But my sister came over and took quite a few of our larger items, even stuff that my husband didn't manage to get listed on Facebook Marketplace. So she took our big dining room table that had a leaf in it so you could extend it, and a couple of dining room chairs. She took a mini fridge that we had in the basement. They took just some other odds and ends, but also they took my dad's old riding lawnmower. Man, when they say nothing runs like a deer, they really mean it. Like that riding lawnmower is probably 20 plus years old. It doesn't always want to start. You often have to put it on the charger in order for it to start. But once it starts, it runs and it cuts and works really well. So they took all of that and all the pieces and everything that went with it, because it had the catcher on the back and all of the little pipes that ran to the catcher and all that kind of stuff. So between getting rid of the my dad's old car and that mower, our garage seemed really empty. They ended up making 2 trips with their truck to get everything. And then my brother-in-law ended up stopping by another day. They were talking with one of their neighbors and had told them that we had sold the house and we were moving and trying to get rid of stuff. And he asked about shelving that we had out in our garage. We had probably 4 or 5 big shelving units out there that hubby had all of his stuff on. We ended up pulling everything off. Hubby was getting rid of a bunch of stuff, but we got it all emptied out, and my brother-in-law stopped by and picked up the rest of those shelves. So yeah, our garage is looking pretty empty, which is nice, but still lots of things to go through. We got rid of the shelving, so hubby has had to get rid of some of his tool hoard because we haven't had anywhere to put it. And I call it a hoard. It wasn't terrible. He gets mad if I call it a hoard. It's his completely necessary stash of tools. It's not as big as his electronics hoard, but it's pretty close. Oh my gosh, as we were packing, every time I came across this power strip, no, we need to keep that one. We have 15 of these already. Why do we need another one? I'm sure he could probably argue the same thing about my diamond paintings, but yeah, this will be a stress test. Moving and things like that. Man, those are stressors on relationships, aren't they? Just stressed in general because of everything going on. He's excited. And again, not that I'm not excited, just I think he's a little bit more excited than I am because he's moving back towards family, which he did previously move away. So it's not like he doesn't know what this feels like, but I don't know, it's all just new and scary. So we'll have to see how well I manage to document things. Sometimes I'm really terrible about that kind of thing. We just get bogged down in the minutia of we got to get all this stuff done, and I forget to film because it takes so much extra time. So the garage is pretty close to empty. There's still stuff we need to get emptied out of it, but it's a lot better than it was. I was, like I said, really starting to sweat some of the big pieces. My sister came over and took quite a few of those. The biggest piece of furniture that was really concerning me is my mom's buffet. And it's a really nice piece of furniture. It's solid wood. It's got all these drawers. They all lock. It's got 2 little side doors that open, and there's like little shelves in there so you can store stuff with some slide out drawers in there as well. It was where I used to set up, I would clean off the top of it, and that's where I would set up my nativity set every Christmas. Really nice piece of furniture, and we use the heck out of it, but it weighs like 9,000 pounds, I swear. We were trying to figure out how we were going to get rid of it. I don't want to say get rid of it, but donate it or whatever. I had called the Restore Store, the Habitat for Humanity people, and we were thinking about doing that, but the realtor contacted us and said, hey, she had told us several times previously that if we couldn't sell everything, that she would try and make arrangements and help us do like an estate sale or something. Well, we've gotten rid of a bunch of it, so I didn't feel like there was enough stuff that warranted having an estate sale. I didn't think there would be enough stuff to make it worth people's while. We just have some big pieces left, and she called and said she'd talked to the buyers, and if there were big pieces of furniture that we just couldn't get rid of, they were happy to have us just leave them, and they would deal with them, whether they wanted to keep them, whether they wanted to sell them or whatever. Honestly, I think the realtor, really wanted to buy the buffet, but just didn't have a way to get it moved and wanted some extra time. So I think she talked to the new people that were going to be moving in and said, hey, can you give me a week or so after you guys close to get this off your hands or whatever? Or maybe she showed them a picture and they wanted it. I don't know. Either way, we don't have to move it now. So that's 9,000 pounds of worry off my shoulders. So yeah. And the realtor did also take my son, his senior year of school. He was in a carpentry class and he made a chair that was sitting on our front porch, and she really liked it and wanted to know if she could have it. So her husband came over, a couple days ago and picked it up. It's like almost like a Adirondack chair. That's not exactly that, but sort of like that. Solid wood, painted really nice, and it was very comfortable. So he came over and took that. So something else we didn't have to really get rid of ourselves. Somebody else came over and took care of that. So that was nice. Hubby else is also trying to make some friends with the neighbors. So to see if they want any of the stuff out of the garage, lawn tools, and he's got some other small tools that we're just not going to be able to fit in the trailer and stuff. So he's going to give some of that away, see if they want it. So we're making progress. It's all good. It's never as much as I want it to be, of course. It never seems to go as fast as I want it to, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely. Eventually it will all be done. And then I'll look back on it and think, ooh, how did we get all this done? Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to tell you about my regular life. What's going on in my diamond painting world? Well, not a ton of stuff. Biggest thing, DP for Veterans has started. You can join in at any time. The event runs the whole month, so if you want to join in after the month has started, that's perfectly okay. I will stick a link to the entry form down below, so if you want to join in, you can. I am so looking forward to seeing everybody's awesome kits. Just judging from the names of some of them, it looks like they're going to be really interesting. So make sure you're posting progress pics in the Facebook group. Like I said, as soon as I have some progress made on this one, because I am behind, I will be posting pics myself. This is actually going pretty fast. Even just sitting here talking to you guys, I feel like I've made some nice progress. So that's good. So it shouldn't be too much longer and I'll have pics of my own to post. I don't have conversation finished yet. As you may have noticed, I have not posted a post-completion review for that kit yet because I haven't finished it. I am behind because of all the focus I've been having on packing and sorting and moving things and signing contracts and all that kind of stuff. I just didn't get as much diamond painting in as I would have wished. I knew when I started it at the beginning, well, I think halfway through the month, that I probably wasn't going to finish it in October, but that's okay. This one and that one are both browns, so hopefully neither one of them are going to take me a huge amount of time. And then once I finish working on this one, I can, or maybe while I'm working on this one, I can sneak in some time to work on the other one and get that one finished. Just got too ambitious, I think. But that's okay. It'll all get done eventually. It's all good. It's all diamond painting, so it's all good. I'm curious to see how all this snow is going to turn out with all these different shades. I'm adding in, there is no ABs in the whites as this kit is charted. So I'm adding in some ABs. It's not actually white. It's kind of off-white, and then I don't know what ecru. It's white enough that I'm using my 5200 ABs for it. Technically, the white is 3865 and this is 3866. So there'll be some variation in the snow, but I wanted some sparkles in it because what's snow without sparkles? It's got to have little icy like snowflake sparkles in it, right? So what else is going on? Oh, yesterday I did my second video in my Diamond Painting for Beginners series. So you guys will have to let me know what you thought of that. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. I'll stick a link up there in the corner. The second video is how to organize your drills. Maybe that doesn't make sense to other people, but I just felt like I said in the first video, I'm kind of trying to do this in a way that makes sense to me. So once you buy a kit, then obviously that was the first video. Where do you buy it from? And then for me, the second video is, oh my gosh, I have all these drills. What do I do with it? Maybe people would have thought it made more sense to talk about like the tools and stuff first, but I felt like dealing with the drills was what I wanted to do next. That just made more sense to me. So that's what the video is over, how to organize your drills. So I tried to cover as many different ways as I could think of, and then put in obviously what I've learned over the years of doing it myself and what works for me and what might work for you. I don't know how quickly the third video will come out. We'll just have to see what my schedule looks like and how things are going with packing and sorting and all of that. Because obviously real life stuff has to take precedence over diamond painting stuff. Which stinks because diamond painting is more fun usually, but gotta be a grown up, right? What is it my oldest says? Adulting sucks. Sometimes it very much does. Trying to make sure I've gotten these as straight as I can get them. My drills are not perfect, by the way. Those of you who think they are not. It's just that when you get further away from them, when you're diamond painting, your nose is literally inches from the canvas, and it's so very easy to see all the mistakes. Even once you step just a couple of feet away, they disappear. Now I am working on white, so I am trying to do this as best I can to keep them all straight. But sometimes they're just going to be a little crooked, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. So like I said, I was doing the second video. That was yesterday. I don't want to bore people, so like I said, I don't know when the third one will come out, but you guys will have to let me know if you're finding that series boring, or if, I don't know if I could do one a week, but maybe if it was something people were really interested in. So leave me a comment and let me know. I also need to do a goals update now that October is done, and update you guys and myself on all my goals and see how I did. Sadly, I don't think I did very well in the month of October. I know I only finished one kit, which means I'm not going to have very many diamond painting hours, so I really got to be busy this month. Hopefully with DP for veterans going on, that means that it will force me to spend more time diamond painting, because I do want to have things to post, progress pictures for the Facebook group and all that kind of stuff, just so that I can kind of keep up on everything. I want this event to be fun. So hopefully, like I said, I'll be able to get more done this month. But yeah, last month I only finished one thing, so not a lot of hours. And I really don't know, because I didn't get a lot done last month, what that is going to look like for the rest of my goals, because I've only got 2 more months. I've only got November and December to see how I do till the end of the year. So I may not make them. However, I'm going to cut myself some slack because I've got some major life events going on, selling my house, moving countries, moving away from family, lots and lots of stressors. So if I don't make every goal, that's okay. There's always next year, right? It's not the end of the world if I don't make my diamond painting goals. I won't like it, but it's not the end of the world. Has anybody bought anything new recently? I was actually really surprised to see Diamond Art Club released a whole bunch of kits, Christmas kits, which was nice, but once again, just nothing that I felt like I gotta have it. There are a few kits at various places, Oraloa, Dreamer Designs, Bella Art, and a couple at Diamond Art Club that I've kind of got my eye on, but just nothing that I wanted to buy right now. Part of that is because I'm still packing and all of that, and I just don't want to add anything else onto my plate. My desire to buy kits has been superseded by my unwillingness to pack anything else. So I'm not going to be buying anything for a little while anyway. I say that, but it depends on what kits come out, and then I'll change my mind, won't I? That's what always happens. I still have a good chunk of money left for Black Friday, and at this point, since we're already into November, I just figure I'll wait for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. Hopefully there'll be a new swath of releases again, or a bigger swath of new releases. And because what did they release last year? Diamond Art Club released, what, 30 some kits? No, what am I saying? They released 100, I think, last Black Friday. Is that right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember. But I'm old and I could be wrong, like I said. Anyway, if they release that amount of kits, surely there'll be something in there that I want to buy. I hope anyway. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to tell you guys. I don't really have any other news. Like I said, it's a lot of same old, same old. But now that we've sold the house and the roof is fixed, like I said, that's big, huge weights off our shoulders. Now it's just to get packed up, get ready for closing, and be ready to go when it's time. Okay, how long have I been talking? Oh, for a while. Okay, this is going to be a shorter whip and chat than usual, but again, I just, so many things going on that I just, yeah, my brain is on overload. Maybe it's just going to be like this from now on. I think it's just because of the move and stuff, but really it's just me getting old. I hope not. I hope it's just the stress of the move, but I guess we'll find out. All right, I think I'm going to stop there. I made some decent progress. I'm liking the little snow down here, and I'm starting to work on the flower and some leaves. So you can see I made a little bit of progress here in this little section of snow. It's not a ton, but it's more than I had done when I started, so I'm going to call that a win. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.